Yes, yes. So we all bow our heads for a moment, please. God of the universe, since we are not conscious enough to fathom your ebb and flow, help us then bring our best efforts to what we can know, to love our friends and family, to treat our employees and fellow workers fairly, to seek justice, to help those in need, to be the best that we can be, and to live the four-way test. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Eric. Please be seated. Eric, while you're there, please introduce our guest.
We have a pseudo guest this morning. Mr. Jim Sochi, who is on his way to becoming a full-fledged member. I think the board's already accepted you and all that kind of stuff. Our speaker, Derek, will be introduced later on by Sal. So that's all we have for today. And no guests online.
Eric, is this on or Rick?
Only if you turn it on and I turn this on. How's that sound?
It's a good picture.
Did you turn that on?
Blue lights are
Well, let's do that. Okay, good. Blue light special.
That is much better, thank you. Well, sorry about the neck right next to the table here. A couple of my announcements. One is a sad announcement. You know, when any of us are leaders in organizations and you get that letter that starts, "Hi, Mike, it's been a great run, but I need to go do some other really important things in my life." And when you see the signature is Courtney Kennedy, and she's going to be moving off of the membership committee and doing some other great things in her life with her family and all. Courtney, we want to thank you for your efforts, what you've done. First of all, working with Wade is like an anchor dragging behind you. We appreciate what you do with membership and taking that very nebulous priority model and starting to put some meat on the bones with that. So, Courtney, thank you. A nice round of applause for Courtney. Courtney said she'll stay on and help out till September, which means we need someone to fill her shoes for that committee. If you're interested in working on sort of the front end of the membership, like doing the meeting this morning with the new members and so on, the handbook, please let myself or Megan know so that we can just keep moving along with that list as quickly as possible. So I don't really have many other announcements. Eric, if you have trumpet trivia, let's get that up there. So as you know, we've been asking people to read their trumpets, and Sal, I think you're going to be the judge here today. So I went through, I did a few extra slides just because I just got a minute. So there's a new game in town, and it's all about reading the trumpet and answering some questions. So go ahead, next slide. Do I have the slider? Trumpet trivia, here's how it works. We'll read through questions. There's a part each time. So are you ready for question number one?
Yes.
Come on, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, question number one. Oh, wait, first of all, the JP rule, no mobile phones. Forever will be known as the JP rule. Okay, the easiest question, who is the editor of the trumpet? You gotta raise your hand. This is like junior high. Eric, the Lockman, is the president. I'm very disappointed that about 39 people had no idea who the editor is. That's why I put that.
Well, no, I just had a comment. I believe he just said Eric Locke is the president. You didn't say Eric Locke was the.
Yes, you did.
Eric Locke will be the president, but the president right now would be.
Next question. There are 9 pictures of members working to begin the at the beginning of the trumpet. Name 3 Rotarians pictured.
JP.
Bill Erdman, Karen Hobson, Courtney.
That's at least 3, I think, yes. So we'll give you credit for that one. I didn't have the pictures in, sorry, but we had last Saturday, those of you, raise your hands who came and helped out on Saturday with the planners. Nice round of applause. It was rainy, it was miserable. We did some great work. So thank you to everyone who did that. Okay, so
Give her 2.
what is the save, number 3, the hardest one. What is the save the date for on June 2? Roger Whitcomb.
Bricks for 3 deceased Rotarians.
That is correct, Roger. Thank you. So we have a brick ceremony. We have a brick for Wilmer, Dale, and Gordy. We're going to meet right after the meeting, about 9 o'clock, over at the Remembrance Garden to install these bricks. Gary Rohrbach does a great job talking to the families and getting them over there. So congratulations to our winners. And as always, be sure to read your trumpet. Come on, I found this one here just for you guys.
I must have taken a long time.
I was gonna count down when I saw it. Come on. I don't see a trumpet. Okay, that's all I have.
You need a day job.
I told them, we gotta have fun, you know. Not having your fun, that kind of a picture. Just a reminder, June 9 is the Emmaus River Club Shopper Shop. That's why we're getting $1 million for being involved and so on. I have nothing else. Other club announcements. RZ.
All right, guys, plan, save the date, June 16th. It's President's Changeover Dinner. It's gonna be at Lehigh Country Club. It is $45 per person. It's a buffet. Buffet.
Will he
It's a
be
buffet.
I
6:30
wanted
to
to-
9:30. And Jimmy Buffett will not be there.
Oh.
But the margaritas will be. And just to clarify, it's not just the President Recognition Day. Thanks to Mark Earl. This was changed several years. It's now called, for this week anyway, the Club Recognition Celebration, where we're recognizing the whole club and what we did over the past year. And there is no buffet, no. Other club announcements. Eric?
Again, good morning, everybody. It's flag time, and flag time. Our first event, our first flag goes out at the end of this month for Memorial Day. You can just go to flag.emmausrotary.org to sign up for a flag. I can take care of it here for anybody that wishes to. I can take credit cards right here, fill out the form for you. If you just need to renew, just come see me. I'll be here after the meeting as well to get you renewed. Again, we're looking to double our subscriptions minimum this year. So we're about 75 or so, 78 flags right now. So we're looking to get to 150 plus. 200 would be great for the end of the year. Door hangers are getting made right now. So we'll have door hangers that you just even have a flag, pass a few door hangers out to your neighbors kind of stuff. And the more we get on, the more money we raise for our food program. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric, and thanks to the group that's doing that, very involved. Many of us wait until the end to get involved sometimes in these fundraisers. Well, this is the end. We kind of get these out there before Memorial Day weekend so that people will put the flag. I just got a text this morning from somebody I know in the Remembrance Garden that their neighbor wants one, so I'll be swinging by there. Sal?
So before June 16th, before Memorial Day of the Flags, is Bags of Beer, which is next Saturday, 22nd of May at Gio's.
Sunday.
I'm sorry.
Let's go, Sal.
So it's don't you wait to show up Saturday, help us set up. Sunday, May 22nd. Registration's easy. Go to your trumpet, or you can just go to our website and registration's there. If you have any issues, please give us a call.
All right, cool. We need more,
We need more throwers.
more throwers. I knew there was a word there, thrower, but I wasn't sure of that. Sue Enner.
Golf committee. Just, here's my ask. We have the committee together. We are looking for ideas for the raffle.
something that appeals to a general public. We've done a lot in the past with a golf package, something golf related. We need to sell 400 tickets. Everybody's not interested in golf. It's a fundraiser. What would you be interested in buying a raffle ticket for? 400 tickets, $50 each. So if you have a good idea, Cindy has the flyer just about ready. So if you have an idea, give it to Rick, Mario, myself, Cindy. But we'd like to get the flyer completed as quickly as possible and list the raffle prizes in there as well.
Thank you,
Eric
sir.
has graciously given us a $2,000 piece of jewelry and everybody will get a $100 gift card for
Okay,
sure. So again, something that will appeal to a lot of people, not just a group of golfers.
I think we should raffle off Robert and maybe he can go work at their houses, and make dinner for them. What do you think, Robert? You good for that? Karen,
Just to say that we are doing cleanup, which is mulching at Hillside School on Saturday, the 28th of May. So that will be fairly early in the morning. I think it's an 8 o'clock start, but another club runner email will go out. We do have a few people for that, but it's quite fun and it only lasts an hour and a half, especially if a lot of people turn up. So Hillside School is just off
Right.
Brookside and Sauerkraut.
thank you, Karen. Rose?
Youth exchange, our student has been assigned to the club. We are getting a young woman from Austria, and she will be arriving the 3rd week of August. We do have 2 host families lined up. If we can ask around for a 3rd, it would just make it a little bit better in my opinion, but we do have 2 as well. We are looking for members for the youth exchange committee, specifically a chairperson to help run it next year.
Did you say she was a girl?
A girl, yep.
Thank you, Rose. Other club announcements? Done?
I have one quick one. For whatever reason, Megan will not be able to continue as the fellowship. I mean, she's just gonna be president. I don't see why she can't be fellowship chair next year. But on that note, Jean and I have decided to be co-chair. So the first event that I'm announcing is August 26th, Iron Pigs. The second thing I'm gonna say is, those of you that don't go to any fellowship events, I can now find you. Double whammy, yes.
Thank you, and thank you to you and Jean for stepping up to work with the fellowship committee. It's a very important committee in this group. Other club announcements. I gotta say, it's great looking out here. It's almost like pre-pandemic numbers of people. This is super. I mean, it's like 40, 45. Looks great. Thank you. Okay, next, greeter, raffle greeter.
Go ahead. Here's the lucky ticket.
Come on, train.
Lucky number, last 4, 7877.
877. 877. Next number.
Not Larry, and it's not me. You don't get to pick again. 7874.
874. We have a bingo.
You?
Oh, that's not fair.
Is it the truth?
So the first prize donated.
They're definitely not fair at all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
First prize is a group of cards from our dear Eileen.
Wow, that's very good.
Okay,
Oh, I want to win that.
I'll sell it to you. You have a couple mil? Eileen? Mm-hmm.
You must need some cards to thank people.
7864.
864. 864.
That's
No way.
It's Larry.
Gotta be in your chair.
That's a fine. He's in the bathroom. He is president.
Let's go over and get him his present.
He's ready to
We can do give him a nice round of applause.
I can fit the trumpet in there.
I hope so. All right, Sergeant at Arms.
So that was a $10 gift card to Rita's donated by Keith Hefner. So a couple people have given me fine money because they forget their pins, leave their name badges elsewhere. So, you know, when you leave, the name badge goes in the box and then it's here for you when you come back. Whenever you come back, that's just a little trick we learned along the way. So you don't have to pay fines, but I'm happy to take your fines. That's perfect with me. I have no problem. Right, Rose?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. That's okay? All right, good, very good. Eric, you have a fine you want to pay?
I know I have a question, a clarification, please.
Okay.
Sergeant. We now have wristbands for all Rotarians to wear that actually have the Rotary logo on those. Would those suffice
Oh,
in lieu of a pin?
Oh, yes.
I've been rumoring to people that it would, but I didn't clarify with you
Be
first.
careful, Don. You told me no about a year ago.
It's a presidential
It's a
decision.
new time.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind a Rotary tie like Steve has on, who just left. Because that's something you purchase with the Rotary logo. This was just given away. No, doesn't count. Okay, good question though, Eric. Very good question.
Okay.
All right.
Moving along.
This was a gift, can I not wear this cap?
Here comes Larry.
It means in absentia. How good is that? Okay, moving along, Don, we have a wonderful speaker here.
Happiness, let's go.
Happiness.
Joe.
It was a gift, that's why I said it doesn't count.
So I got 20 happy dollars, several things. I don't know if you all saw in the newspaper, but Ginny Wingard passed away a while back. So sad to see that. I was signed up to do the Emmaus planting and I saw it rain. So I decided to paint my bedroom instead, but then I found out it was still going on. So sorry. I didn't get that. So I'm going to be heading down to North Carolina next week, so you will see me. We had the Emmaus, Friends of the Emmaus book sale, $10,000 we made. So and I saw somebody there. And then June 2nd to June 19th, I'll be in France. So I'm going to miss out on the president's,
Well, just make sure you pay anyway.
But I'll drink a bottle of wine for you while I'm there.
We'll bring one back for it. That's even better.
Other happiness out there. All set. Gorgeous weather out there and nobody's happy.
All right, well, we gotta move on here then.
Go for it.
All right. Just before we do a program, I think Bill Erdman, you have something to take care of here?
Yes, thank you, Mike. First and foremost, let me tell you, we're within striking distance of making the goal. I hope to be able to announce that in the next 2 weeks, which will be before the end of the Rotary year. So I would like to thank everybody for supporting the foundation, those that have, but specifically, I would like to recognize Mario, who achieved the Paul Harris +2. Again, if you remember when we did the program, there were a number of Rotarians. I'm still playing catch up. So Mario, if you'd like to come forward.
It's now stupid people.
Thank you, Mario. One more time.
Oh, Sal, I think you're up next. No,
Oh, that's-
yeah, you're up program.
Okay, I get to introduce
Or
the
Rick.
person who's gonna introduce the speaker.
We're gonna make it quick because I want Derek to come up as quickly as he can. He has a long presentation. So, 3 months ago, I got a call from Cindy who told me to call Bob Hoball, who told me to call Derek Davies, who's over at the Whitehall Rotary Club. And I said, what for? And he said, he'll tell you. Okay. So Derek and I met for breakfast. We spent a lot of time on a Rotary initiative called, well, it's Launch Splash City, but we're launching it in Lehigh Valley, and Derek is going to be the person in charge of that. He's going to tell you all about that right now. Okay, so without further ado, Derek, come on up.
We'll be over there for you there. I can see the blue light from here.
Okay, so.
Yep.
I just wanted to mess with my hair. In a couple things to get out of the way. Any allergy sufferers in the house? Okay, so you know what we're going through. So if I'm talking to you and I spit a search out into your coffee, don't get mad. A couple parking lot things. I don't know how my wife got that dark baby pic of me to send here. Little concerned about that. Also too, I'm a guy, so Sil, thank you for helping me when I fell in the parking lot this morning and picked me up. I really appreciate it. A couple other parking lot things. We're talking about the golf outing. Something I did that went over real good was a helicopter ball drop. Have you ever done that? Works real well. A lot of the larger companies in the area will pay money to have their banner flown. So you get a lot of money for that. And they just drop a ball over the on the 9th hole, and it works real good. You get a lot of people supporting that. Lady in the black jacket, where are you from?
Oh, me, England.
Huh?
England, yeah.
I'm a Wyoming sister.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
South Rising. And Eileen, the card lady.
Yes.
Oh, you rule. I gotta get some of those. I just saw them here, so I had to look through my parking lot there. Those are pretty nice.
Thank you.
So what I want to go over today is, I want to go over this program. But before, more so than going over the program, what I want to go over is psyche, the psyche of people. Imagine the possibilities of a group of people who may have been marginalized or may not have resources to help themselves to better support their families. What would their lives be like if they had that? Imagine the possibilities if buildings or storefronts that are closed down that once housed reputable businesses and services, but are now shut down for the pandemic or either because of circumstances. Imagine the possibilities if those were opened up in those communities. How would the communities feel about it? Okay. Imagine the possibilities if a father or mother could support their family out of their pocket and not worry about government assistance or handouts or anything like that. Imagine the possibilities. What would happen in the minds of those who are going through those things, but just imagine the possibilities of what could happen to a community if that changes. So you say, well, we have things that make it change. We have sources around the county, around the state, around the country, around the world that make those things happen. We do. But the resources that are most valuable are sitting in this room right now. Rotary has a group that is part of RAG, the Rotary Activity Group, Rotary Action Group, that has launched My City. Forgive me for the title. Now, those people I'm talking about, I want you to imagine the possibilities are a lot of people who are people from communities that need help with economics, okay? Need help with income, need help with putting food on the table. Has anyone here ever lived through a life of that and not knowing where your next meal is going to come from? Anybody? You know, probably none of us have. I've never had. I've been a spoiled brat in the suburbs all my life. But I've been able to talk to people and do through ministry, talk with families that go through this. And I know the strife and the strain that they're under because we have to support them in a lot of ministries and churches around the area. So imagine the possibilities if there was something that could help them to not have those things. Imagine the possibilities. Okay, so Launch Lehigh Valley is a program that all of us can be part of. So to put this program together, if you see the things on here, we reviewed the city and county needs assessments that Allentown has. So they're all online. You can go look at all those. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's no need to go and build our own. We know what the problems are in a lot of these underserved communities. Now, those of us who are Rotarians here, we already know that because we're working programs to take care of those things already. We're doing that already. Every month, showcase, you see all the things that may be happening in other parts of the world that are happening here as well.
The programs we have in the city are robust and breed differing successes. So there are a lot of these programs already in place around the county and around the city. But who in here can name 3 of them? 2. 1. Okay. Knowledge of program details is misunderstood. A lot of people think that these programs you have to qualify for them. You got to have a 750 credit score, things like that, and you don't, because the programs haven't been brought to masses who need them. Now, we've heard many are called, but few are chosen. But I like to say many are chosen, but few follow the call, because these programs are free. These programs are sourced for anybody to go to, but a lot of people don't go to them because they're misunderstood. Now, that misunderstanding, I want to tell you about something with Rotary. I misunderstood Rotary. As you all can tell, I'm 29. Don't say a word. And I misunderstood what Rotary is about. But I had a young lady come to a ministry event I had. She said, "You need to get in Rotary." I said, "Oh, trust me, I don't." Okay. She said, "Yeah, you need to." I said, "Okay." So you come volunteer at one of my events, I'll come volunteer at one of your events. So we did that. And I was shocked at what I found out. It's a great institution. Great. I thought it was going to be boring. It's not. It's exciting. It's fun. It's hip. It's all that stuff. And when you get some younger people involved in it too, they find out the same thing. This is a great program. This is great. And people who care, you're not doing it because you were put up to do it. This is your own time that you give it up. You care, and that's important. Foster an atmosphere of familiarity. So when this program was first set up, it was set up to be done in communities that were, like I said, marginalized, underrepresented, need a lot of resources. However, I did this program in Ohio, and that's not the way we focused it. Some of that did apply, but it was a program that could help everyone, okay? There's some people who are, I'll say, well off, okay, who don't really even need to get funding or anything, but who in here has a business, okay? So, you know, there's plenty of times we'll get a loan because you don't want to change your financial profile. You get a loan because you know the business is going to be able to pay it back. You do that to spark it up instead of creating a difference in your financial profile. So it's pretty much the same thing. So if you have someone who has an existing business and they're doing fine, a lot of businesses will go get a loan to branch out their business or scale, okay? Allows for involvement in geo-fenced areas, okay? Now, this is a very sensitive topic, all right? Nobody throw a shoe at me, all right? A lot of times, there are people who don't want to or feel uncomfortable branching out of their small world, their small community. So with that being said, a lot of times they will stifle themselves, not anyone else stifling them, not a program stifling them. So with this program here, we can create this in as Launch My City, Launch Lehigh Valley Allentown, Launch Lehigh Valley Whitehall, Launch Lehigh Valley Emmaus, Launch Lehigh Valley Caddy, whatever. Put it in the community so that it's in a place that's familiar to the folks there, in a location that's easily accessible when you're coming from work or you're coming to your home. When you have events, people in the neighborhood will come to that particular place. That's the way we need to focus this program. Establishes community pride through teamwork. Okay, so all my corporate people, what does team stand for, that acronym?
Gather everybody and choose one.
There we go. Okay, I'm calling HR tomorrow. Some of you guys are gonna be in trouble. Okay, so that's the thing. We need to have a program where people who don't look like the folks in the program see the people who are in the program, see people who don't look like them, coming to them, supporting them. That's essential. That's important, especially for the youth. Openly demonstrates economic development. So if you drive down a lot of the city streets, you see all these buildings are closed down. They had businesses in them, but they're closed down. Kid gets up to go to school. What's on their mind? Man, my neighborhood is depressed. Man, there's nothing going on here. Man, these businesses are shutting down. Does that foster imagination? Does that foster a feeling of wanting to move forward? Maybe it does for some, but a lot of times it doesn't. Creates multi-generational paths to success. I've sat in some sessions with some people and talked to them, and they told me about the steps you take to go through the welfare system. Wow. Steps you take to do that. Being taught generationally. Now we can teach generationally paths to success by spending time with college, trade, visit events, career days, things like that, that aren't fostered on something else. It's fostered on the success being made individually by each person. Now I'm gonna stop for a minute there. Did I hurt anybody's feelings?
No.
Okay, this is something that we can change. Stop generational curses. Teaches generational alignment for achievement. Generational alignment, as we all know, is a big topic, especially in the corporate world, because generational alignment is under attack right now. Okay, where's my boomers at in the house? We're leaving the workforce. So every company saying skilled workers are gone. And they say we're in trouble because we have no skilled workers. That's where they're wrong. Millennials, very skilled, just have to allow them to have their own voice, because millennials have the same skills and knowledge that a lot of us have, but haven't been able to voice that. Mechanism for job creation. With this program, one of the big things about it is that each business, as they go through the program, we have a thing called Pick Six. I did this in all my districts and regions, where we had 6 things we were working on all the time. Everybody had to be doing those, working towards those 6 things. We do the same thing with this program here. And each one of them wants to try to create 10 jobs, okay? Generally, these classes have 30 people in it, okay? 20 people on site, 10 online. So if we could do that at 10 jobs, each program basically would make 300 jobs in a perfect world. And that's what we want to do. So Launch My City versus Launch Lehigh Valley. How am I doing on time? We good? Okay. Launch My City was more urban centric. Launch Lehigh Valley, we wanted to show it in a different venue, is all inclusive. Okay. Launch My City focuses on a particular subset, the underserved. Launch Lehigh Valley is all encompassing. Community-based learning sites. Launch Lehigh Valley has institutes of higher learning that are asking to be part of this program, and alternative sites. There's some negotiations we have with some of the malls that have open spaces, some of the storefronts, people wanting to donate buildings. Those are all things we're working on right now. Launch My City was for small business startups, 1 to 10 employees. And Launch Lehigh Valley focuses on all sizes, including businesses that want to scale. Scale is probably one of the toughest phases for any business. You can unlock the doors, start a business, get an EIN, buy your supplies, have it delivered, and nobody shows up. Well, people do show up, and then you can't handle the business. You need to learn how to scale, and it's not to, and it can be taught. So these here are some of the links. You want to click on the first one here? Of course it worked when we were earlier.
I like taking the presentation.
You said the presentation?
I think so. I'm ready to that.
Okay.
Let's see if we do.
We won't tell.
There you
Just don't imagine, don't see that.
We need the finger.
Okay, so this is the master website on Launch My City. Okay, so we're following this exactly the way the program is set up. It takes about a year to actually put it together. So I've been working on this for quite some time. Some of the things sped up because it actually ran in unison with a program I was creating myself already. So a lot of the things were already created and done, so we're able to just seamlessly move into it. If you scroll, can you scroll up a little bit on the screen there? Allow you to. So you see it's got the Rotary branding on it, and it's made to build entrepreneurs in your cities through initiatives, and there's tons of them here, tons of them in Allentown. Coming from Ohio, it was a limited amount of sources. Here, they're all over. I'm like, my God, this place is just beaming with all kinds of initiatives and opportunities for this program. So that's what got me excited about it. The other thing was that in my ministry work, I'm coming across so many people who are out of work right now. so many people out of work and have talents. Oh my God, I'm ordering some of these before I leave. Has anybody seen these cards?
Yeah.
Seriously? I mean, when I was kept looking at it, I said, man, those are nice. So I wonder where he bought them from. You know, and something like that being done local, that's what this is all about. Create those kind of things so that we all go to that business and use it. Okay, your commercial's over. You gave me the $20 bill to do it, I'm done. So with Launch My City, you create businesses, but you don't create a business and walk away. There's mentoring with the program. So we've got SBA and SCORE involved. The first 6 months after they graduate, they get the mentoring. And then 6 months after that, they work with a company called Micro Mentors. So it's like ad hoc mentoring after that. But they continue to get the work, get the mentoring from myself. So in my previous background, I worked as a district manager, regional manager for a few companies. And what I did was I might have 500 plus reports. Okay, so I'm accustomed to working with that many people and getting that much communication and having them do what they should do. And those of you who are in the corporate world, you know, most of the conversations we have with them with the questions that are asked, it's a canned response, you know, because you have limitations for what you can do. Okay, so it's pretty easy. You can just cut and paste an email all day long. You're set. You're gonna ask the same questions all the time. Okay, so it's not that hard to do if you can stay up with it. And luckily for me, through ministry work, I've got admins, okay, who are volunteers, so they can do those kind of things as well. We can give them mentoring along the lines of whatever they need for their business, as well as when they open a business. If you remember, I told you we're working on 6 things, the pick 6. Those items are the things that I would then walk into their business and teach some other people to look for. So we'll continue to run, when they run their business, we'll continue to inspect the business and coach them through the business and make sure that, there's not any problems, or if there are, help them to fix it. So I tried to cut this down as quick as I could, you know, because there's a lot to it. So I'm gonna end there. And Rick's got my contact information if anybody needs it to talk more about it. But if you have a business and you want to expand, the way this works is the first amount of money they get is $3,000. Okay, they pay that back, they get $6,000. They pay that back, they get $10,000. They pay that back, then they have access to $50,000 above. Okay, so now that's about an 18 to 24 month cycle. Okay, so what just happened? All of a sudden they got 1 year of business credit. And at the end of their program, after they're done with the program for 10 weeks, they get a business plan. So now they got business credit and a business plan. You know how hard it is to get? What does a business plan cost? $3,000 to $4,000 to get a good one? They're going to get it for free. You know what it costs them? Zero. Okay. So I'm going to cut there because I'm limited on time. Just give me that shut up look. So I'm going to open the floor for any questions.
I'm kind of curious. I always look at duplication of effort. How does all this interface with things like Promise Neighborhood and Community Action Coalition we have out there? Many of the things they have, I think, fall into this general.
That's a very good question. Is anybody part of those programs that you spoke about?
Kind of.
Okay. The difference is the community aspect. So right now I have 35 people who have signed up for this program to launch the first one starts the first week of June. I'm not going to put all of them in that class. Some of them are going to go in the other sessions. Okay, 35 people, and that's just with interaction, being in events like this, saying hello, hi, whatever, and talking about it, and they want to join. Those other programs, and I'm sure you know this, and this isn't a slight, they're having a problem getting people to come to those programs, if I'm correct. Then the other problem is them staying in the program and finishing it and completing it. So this program has a 97% payback rate. And that's how you grade these, because if people are paying back the loans at 97%, that's a good thing. Because otherwise they walk away. Okay, the other 3%, I don't know what they're doing. But one thing I found out in Ohio, after the 3,000 and the 6,000, nobody needed any more money. Because the coaching that we gave them, their business was open and they were making money. So I don't need that. It's going to come. Okay. So does that answer your question? Yeah. The other thing too is the class format. It's an hour long. It's tough to teach somebody how to run, build, scale, and enlarge a business in 1 hour. That's hard. So our classes are 3 hours. They get 45 minutes of homework during the week, each day during the week. And then we're taking them through some other training on things like that. So I use a lot of Good to Great. Anybody ever read that book? I use a lot of Good to Great stuff to get people to manage properly. Anybody ever heard of The 8th Habit? The 8th Habit, Stephen Covey's The 8th Habit. Read that, especially if you're over 40. Important. Read that because millennials, I'm telling you, those people got it going on. Use them the right way. Any other questions?
With the micro lending, are you using local or are you using something like Kiva? Because I mean, micro lending is usually for people that don't qualify.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they're not qualifying because of SBA regulations or standards. So how are you funding for 35 that much?
Great question, great question. Yes, Kiva is one of them. But we've been approached by several, and when I say several, I don't mean one or two, several cities and organizations that want to fund people in this program. So the other programs that you're speaking of, those are already available. No one's using it. Well, I won't say no one. A lot of people aren't using it. They know about them. They think there's red tape to go through, but we're going to be able to walk through that with them, as well as the people who foster do those programs. I've created a relationship with them. So I'm going to give them keynotes by myself and do other things and volunteer help. And they can come to our program and speak into the folks who want to get those as well. And if any of you have any connections with anybody or you do those loans yourself, let me know. The other thing too is with this program, each person needs to find 12 people that will donate $25 each to their cause. So our fiduciaries has an account, everybody's got the number for their account, and they will donate $25 for that person, okay? So when they do that, that's $300, right? Doesn't sound like a lot of money. Of course, what we're doing costs a whole lot more to do that, but we got a lot of volunteers. But then those funds can be used for some of the people who don't need or can't qualify for or don't need it. A good example was a young lady, this is back in Ohio. All she needed was $750 to buy an order of hair. And when she did that, she opened up a service which is braiding hair, flourishing business. I have a young lady right now here in the Lehigh Valley. Her name is Malika. Same situation. All she needs is to be able to place an order. She's got all the stuff stored up in a storage room somewhere. She just needs to be able to buy that first order. Anybody who's opened a business, especially like restaurateurs, what was one of the biggest things was your first order, right? Spent all that money. And after that, they were always smaller orders. So we have that available too. And so our fiduciary will handle those things. I'm staying out of all that because that'll get in the way of me doing what I need to do. I need to stay just the creative part of this because then, you know, the ideas can be fostered and others can, others can do some other parts of it.
Yeah, so that goes into what are we doing as the Emmaus Rotary? So we're sponsoring this program, Launch Lehigh Valley, from Emmaus Rotary. It's a Rotary initiative. We're doing it with us. Mario is the fiduciary. He's going to be the treasurer. He's going to help Derek out. So if you've ever been on a board for a church, you understand why the minister is involved in the stewardship program, because you don't want the minister thinking he's going to give somebody extra because he gave more money. So that's what we're doing here. They're totally separated. Number two, part of the program is they're going to get a talk from us in the program. Okay, what about Rotary? What is Rotary? Why do we want to do Rotary? It's a network. You start to form your network. Once you form your network, your business will flourish when people understand and know who you are. And that's where we're going forward right now.
And I think it really will grow attendance and create more inclusive diversity is what we're looking for.
Exactly.
We'll see that happen quite a bit. But remember, this program is not just for the underserved. It's great for someone who's already in business, needs to scale or expand. And like I said, that way you don't change your financial position. Do something, maybe you only need 30 grand because you need to get more storage space or something. And then, it's an easy payback.
So let me make sure I understand. This is a program to help young people start a business?
Any people.
Any person, okay. How many businesses have started and how many of them are still continuing?
Okay, I can even tell you.
There's like 17 of these already, Joe.
17 businesses.
No, 17 Launch My Cities. This started in Raleigh.
Okay, but how many businesses have started here in the Lehigh Valley that are still continuing?
In Philadelphia, it was the first place they had the Launch My City.
So we don't have it here yet, is that?
Not in,
No,
not
no.
in, not in, this is not in prior.
Yeah.
So just to help, you might find that number, and I don't know what it is. If you go on to the state sites and look at the assessments,
Right, okay.
you'll probably get that number right there. Yeah. But the other thing too is remember this, they may have started, I don't know what their history is. But with this program, there's an incubation period also too. Okay, because the class is gonna be for 10 weeks, basically 2.5 months. They're gonna be getting mentored for 6 months, another back-end mentoring for 6 months. So that incubation period, sometimes people don't open their business during that time. They continue to learn. They continue to buy things and store them up so that they have them. So when they open, they're ready to go. A landlord usually gives about 3 months free rent when you move in. But the problem with that is a lot of people, it takes them 3 months to build out a space, and in that time, they're not making any income. You see what I mean? So they want to be prepared and ready for that. And that's part of the plan we give them. In their business plan, when they put together their business plan, myself and some other people go through it, and then we help them make more sense of what it is. As you know, when you do a business plan, you start at the end, you don't start at the beginning, you start at the end, and you work your way back through it. So those of us with experience know some of the hiccups that you have and things that can happen. So we can tell them, before you open the doors, let's buy this equipment. A good example, I use hairdressers again. Buy all the equipment first. You know what you need. Buy all the equipment first. Then you start looking for licensing and other things like that.
Derek's gonna be here for a couple minutes. If you have any questions for him, please come up afterwards and ask him. I want to thank Derek for stopping in today.
Thank you, Derek. Very nice. I watched some of the videos about Launch My City. So this is really interesting. It's a little different. It's really an evolution of Launch My City into something a little more comprehensive. I'll encourage our dream team to connect with this. And I think this is going to work out really great. Very excited. Some of you know that I've really become an advocate for the Stove Team initiative, which is a Rotary initiative. And I love this one too, as a Rotary initiative, Rotary homegrown and bubbling up through and creating opportunities for people and Rotarians to be involved. So thanks to everybody. Thanks to Cindy and Rick for following up on this and moving this forward. So with that, we'll close with the four-way test today. Please rise. Four-way test are the things we think, say, or do. First.
Is it true?
Second. Third. Fourth. Nicely done today. Good seeing everyone. Go forth and do good.
Well, what are we doing this week? It's in the